We bought 25 acres of raw land a couple of years ago with the dream of turning it into a thriving, self-sufficient, off-grid homestead. We spent the first year converting a Ducato van into a camper that we could live in when on the land. We finally moved, and it's been about a year since we started developing our land literally from scratch. Initially, the only way we could get to the abandoned farmhouse was by walking up a steep footpath from the bottom of the land. Having the ultimate goal of restoring and renovating the ruin into our home, we thought it was best to start with creating an access road that would lead to it, and then we could build from there. It took us a while to find someone to do the job, to the point where Filipe actually completed training for operating a bulldozer. But thankfully we found Senor Antonio, a machine operator with over 40 years experience that did in a day and a half what would have taken Filipe at least a week to do. When it was all done, we had a nice road from the top of the heart of our land that even trucks and heavy machinery could use, which opened up the possibility for having a borehole drilled. A job that didn't go without some drama, as one of the pumps broke and the drilling machine stopped working. They had to drive 230 kilometers to get a replacement part, but fortunately got it up and running the next day. And we struck water at about 70 meters deep and went 90 meters to get a good flow rate.
Looks like a tank.
So far so good, but we hadn't gotten hands-on yet. With the borehole drilled, we then needed to have a pump installed. Perfect opportunity to try and do it ourselves. So we did some research, sourced the pump and materials, and were blessed to have some help from friends with the installation.
Look!
Dude! Let's go! That seals it. This is the one that's hard to put it all the way to the top. It doesn't go all the way to the top. Alright? Yep. Okay, we start moving.
Huh? Okay.
Hold the lid. And as far as we go.
We haven't got time to wash.
Springbrunnen.
Huh? Springbrunnen.
High five.
Good job!
I'm curious if you turn it on now, how high the
Nice.
water will.
Good job!
Huh?
You've done it! Really? Have you really done it? Ah!
We need to test it tomorrow. Make sure that it works. Yeah! Let's start. Yeah.
After a few runs of emptying the borehole, waiting for it to refill, then pumping the water out again, we saw the water had finally cleared up enough for us to take some samples to send off to a lab for testing. We had to wait around 3 weeks for the lab results to come in, and they were a little disappointing, showing the water had high levels of iron and manganese. However, after talking to our neighbours, who are very confident that iron-rich water is drinkable, there is a simple test that they recommended that we do, where you create a puddle, and as the water drains away, if there's just a greyish stain, then it's okay to drink, and if it leaves a whitish stain, that would be an indication of salts and not being drinkable water. So there we go. Should we go with this local elders way, or shall we go with the lab test, which kind of said that it wasn't for drinking? The friends also helped with digging out a space. It was with the wrong tools. We only had shovels and we didn't have pickaxes, but we kept going and we made space for a 1,000-litre water tank at the top of our land, which is another key piece of the off-grid water system. We didn't get to connecting the pump to the 1,000-litre tank yet because other projects got pushed to the front. Storage space for power tools and personal belongings was desperately needed. One of the options was getting a shipping container, so Filipe and Elva and Nina went to check some second-hand ones. We ended up buying a container that was leak-free and with the doors closing. And after working through the night, literally until 4 a.m, to prepare the area where the container was to go, it was delivered successfully. Even though our plan is to only use it as a storage space, we soon learned that it gets really hot inside the container. Even on a winter sunny day, it's like a sauna inside. So we decided to insulate its walls and ceiling.
Mas isto depois também controla. Oi!
We got some much welcome help to get the job going and then push through just ourselves to the finish line.
It's got nice acoustics in the container. I'm gonna play piano in the container.
Our initial plan was to use only the XPS insulation board, but we had to add an extra layer of rock wool because the container, being secondhand, had many wonky bumps and dents and so forth, and it was just going to be impossible without using the wool. With the insulation in place, the walls and ceiling were lined with OSB board.
Oi! Como é que está? Whoa.
Part of building our dream off-grid homestead isn't just attending to the functional aspects. Building for beauty, fun, and relaxation is also very important to us. And so we took a break from the essentials and set out to find a tree to build a swing for our little one. And in spite of a bit of an embarrassing mistake,
Oh, it's slipping down. Oh, no.
She doesn't feel like she's
Let me try.
holding very well.
Oh my god, it's so... What kind of rope is this?
It's rope. It's good rope.
What kind of rope?
Multi-use, resistant.
Well, I don't think a rope should be this elastic.
Uh-huh. Okay, so this rope is not the most suited rope. They can almost stretch it to the ground. Looks like we need another piece of rope.
in the end, we had a very happy toddler who loves her swing very much.
Perfect fit, baby. Wow, isn't it gorgeous?
Now, let's see if it works. Are you falling down?
No, no.
It's good. Should I push you for a bit? Yeah. Okay. Let's test it out. Nina, cuidado. Sai, anda, sai.
Exciting.
Sai.
Nina,
Dad?
is it exciting? Does it feel good over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Catch me. Yeah.
While we initially thought that the first thing to do would be to crack on with the farmhouse renovation, we soon realised that restoring the ruin will be a multi-year endeavour. In the meantime, we need an in-between space that we can call home because we don't think that we can live for multiple years in a 6-metre squared camper. So we will soon start building a pallet wood cabin. We couldn't find the perfect place to locate the pallet cabin, so we created one with the help of a familiar face. Given we had the bulldozer back on our land and machine operators get pretty busy around here, we decided to actually carve out a couple more terraces, creating space not only for our future cabin but also for some raised beds and for tree planting. Thinking ahead of the 40+ degree summer days, we thought it best to build a shade structure over the container, big enough that we could have a shaded outdoor area for us to use and develop. This was by far the biggest job yet, and a bit intimidating, as we had planned to build a 9 by 6 metre structure, and it felt like a huge blessing to have Nunu come along with a pair of very skilled hands.
Espera aí.
We worked through rain and mud, but managed to finish the structure in a couple of weeks. We can now live a little better, having some protection from the scorching summer sun and heavy rain clouds in the winter. In the next few videos, you'll see what we get up to, developing the shaded area into even more of a homely space for us to enjoy. So that's all we did in our first year off-grid. There's been no shortage of challenges, but things are becoming a little easier with every win we get. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe and follow along. Until next time.